multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. Here's the rules. When you multiply fractions, you multiply the numerators by each other and the denominators by each other. Just across the top and across the bottom. There is something that often is referred to as canceling that can reduce those fractions later, and we'll get into that as the lesson goes on. And then finally, mixed numbers, which, well, you can't multiply with mixed numbers. You have to convert them into improper fractions before you can actually work with them. So let's find the product of -8 and 2/3. Now the first thing we need to realize is that -8, even though it doesn't look like a fraction, it is a fraction. It's -8 over 1. Okay? So that is really going to be important so that we can line up our numerators and our denominators horizontally. It's a negative times a positive. We already know that negative times positive is a negative answer. 8 times 2 is 16. 3 times 1 is 3. And the answer is -16/3. And let's find the product again, but this time we have a mixed fraction. Remember, when you are converting a mixed fraction into an improper fraction, you multiply the denominator by the whole number and then add that number to the numerator. 1 times 5 is 5, plus 1 is 6. The second number is 6/5, which is being multiplied by 3/5. 3 times 6 is 18. 5 times 5 is 25. Positive times positive, the answer is still positive. Now I want you to be careful here. We had the same denominator, and what some people will do is think, oh, it's like addition. We keep the denominator the same. No, multiplication, just multiply straight across. 5 times 5, 3 times 6. Wow, 2 mixed fractions. Let's get rid of those. The number's negative. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 plus 3 is 19 over 8. Times, and we have another negative number here. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So the first important thing that we'll notice is it's negative times negative. So we don't need to do anything else. It's going to be a positive answer. The denominator's easy. 2 times 18 is 16. Whew. I don't know my 7 times tables that well, do you? Let's try it out. 19 times 7. Well, let's see. 7 times 9 is 63. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 6 is 13. 133. So let's do this in the form of a word problem. A recipe for cookies needs 1 3/4 cups of milk. If you're making half of the recipe, how much milk will you need? So we're going to take the amount of milk that we have, and we want half of it, which would be like dividing by 2 or multiplying it by half. We want half of that milk. Well, first thing we've got to do is get rid of that improper fraction. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7 over 4 times 1/2. 7 times 1 is 7. 4 times 2 is 8. And we need 7/8 of a cup of milk. And that's enough to do half of this recipe of cookies. And that's also how you multiply fractions and mix numbers.